All right, guys, welcome back to the WCA EU Pro Qualifier. Now that production finally got something to eat and is able to keep up with the two of us here, we are going into our last best of 3 of the day. It is, of course, Gamers2 versus ATN Fancy. Gamers2 coming from the losers match. ATN Fancy, on the other hand, coming straight from the loss against... I kind of screwed that up, didn't I? Yeah, exactly. So ATN Fancy coming from the winners match, losing against Team Liquid. There we go. And guys, map number 1, the draft's already up. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
Yep, and very quick bans to start out with. Fancy getting the first ban, banning out the Abathur. Gamers2 ran it last time against them, and it was very effective. Although Fancy did, in the end, win, they just don't want to play against the Abathur again. It was just too good at that split XP last time.
I really find it super funny that we have Sky Temple again, because it's basically just like Gamers2 also saying, like, screw you guys, we were the ones winning that game, and we made a mistake, and now we're going to show you how it's done.
Yeah, and it was, so what's it been today? It's been Sky, Cursed, Sky,
yeah, a lot
Bay,
of Sky Temple, actually.
Sky.
And that Uther first pick once again, so apparently the attempt to go into composition once more with the melee assassin, but they want to have Zagara first. So on one hand we have Jaina, great early game, really nice burst damage that you have with her, and then on the other hand we have now not only the Uther, good start here with the healer, but at the same time a preparation for a potential melee assassin then later on, and Zagara with the lane presence and the power at the bot lane.
Yeah, and this gives them a bit of a safer starting pickup, because they have the Uther, like you said, they can easily go into that melee assassin style comp, or Uther's still just a safe option for them. It denies it for ATN Fancy. If they want a melee assassin, they have to go with Rhaegar, and it's just giving them more options.
It's definitely true. And right now, you know, if you're going into, like, with Jaina, the one thing, there's the Rhaegar, by the way.
That's also that both of them kind of showing melee assassins right now, but neither of them wanting to pick it first.
And that Anubarak. You know, it's kind of cool to see that Anubarak is suddenly prioritized that highly again, because I want to say the last 2 weeks, maybe 3, Anubarak was still considered one of the top 3 tanks, but mostly it was Johanna, and sometimes a bit of Muradin.
And then Tyrael if there was an Illidan.
Exactly. And now we see just like that, bam, Anubarak is back. The beetle is back. You just never get rid of that little cockroach. And we're going to find out right now if that is enough for ATN Fancy. Gamers2 currently, of course, with the first ban that they have here. In a situation like this, there's really not too much to ban out. You have to ask yourself, what is the one thing that we do not want to go up against? What could really destroy us here? But it's not like there's like some kind of huge combo potential. And as Gamers2 also has the next 2 picks, they can decide which melee assassin they want to run in case they're still interested in doing that.
Yeah, both teams have the potential. We may just... What would be amazing here is if both teams just instantly both banned out melee assassins. Just like, well, no, there is going to be the Nazibo ban from Gamers2, and that's very showing of a melee assassin, because those spiders can really ruin a melee assassin's day if you're waiting to engage.
Yeah, they definitely can. Once the melee assassins get kind of low, it's really difficult for you to still make like an engagement happen. But what exactly is ATN Fancy not going to ban out? That Uther is already indicating that we might see a potential melee assassin on the side of Gamers2, and if they want, they can ban out, for example, an Illidan here. But there's still so much that ATN Fancy can that Gamers2 can really do to ruin their day. Even a Kel'Thas together with that Maw on Zagara would be great. A Sylvanas would once again just give them a huge amount of pushing power. So there's a lot of heroes that we could see banned out now.
Yeah, and Sylvanas definitely the favorite in terms of bans from Team Liquid. But if Fancy were to ban out Sylvanas now, it's pretty much 100% showing they're going for an Illidan. Or something along those lines, because it's amazing at silencing that Illidan, stopping him from getting away, or from silencing the Rhaegar to prevent the heals. So if they're going for that, then Gamers2 are basically, 1, they suddenly have it open because they don't have to deal with Sylvanas. 2, they're denying it from themselves in case they're showing that they're going for a melee assassin themselves.
There's a Sylvanas ban though. Okay, so they're going for that. So first of all, as you already said, it could indicate that they're going into an Illidan. Then again, we could also just see them say, like, we already went up against your Sylvanas and Zagara once. They have too much pushing power. We don't really want to go into a scenario where you just, like, run around on the map, take down structures. So this time, we are going to make sure that you can't really do that with the lineup that you have. But Gamers2 has now the opportunity to pick a melee assassin themselves. Of course, they also need still that tank at the front line, and in this case, we could still see them go into maybe, I would say, a Johanna or a Muradin. Muradin has been a little bit more popular today, and there he is again.
Yeah, we have it. How many Johannas have we seen?
Not too many.
I think 1.
Yeah, one or two, but not too many Johannas today. So there was a huge focus on that. And it is, as already predicted earlier, the Kelthas together with the Zagara to just have this setup with more into Phoenix, into Flamestrike, that good and strong early game that you have. And how is Alternate Fancy going to deal with that now?
It's going to be very interesting because, like you said, they Gamers2 very much focused on a backline damage dealers at the moment. They can throw in the Hunter Killers and then run away. They have the Flame Strikes from afar. They don't need to engage. Once again, it's basically harass until Fancy force the engage.
Yeah, and they they really wait for quite some time with picking the next one here. I mean, at this point, we are having... at this point, we have Johanna finally taking. It's actually a double tank. They go into a double tank line up here, going straight for an Anubarak plus at Johanna. There's a lot of disrupt, a lot of stuns. A really like annoying setup to deal with.
It also makes a lot of sense considering how much Gamers2 are focused on the stuns and the disrupts. They have the Uther, they have the Kael'thas, they have the Muradin. And with Johanna leading the charge, finally you have someone who can actually deal with that. And if they do get called out, as long as they have the time to hit that D button, have the chance at survival, which someone like Anubarak, as we saw in the previous series, didn't really so much.
Yeah, Anubarak still a very annoying hero today, and of course that initiation potential that he has there is quite solid. But now they still need a bit more damage on the board. This is just not going to be enough for them if they really want to take on Gamers2 here. The Jaina in the backline is amazing, but she will not be able to get so much damage in as to drop the entire setup here. And we're having already two very good damage dealers for their opponent, and they decide to go into a Vala here. We've seen Vala already a couple of times. Multi-shot builds mostly, but on Sky Temple in particular, you can also just go for a Q build, for an arrow build.
Yeah, and that might make a lot more sense because although it's not really taken, it does give you a better chance to take that double vault, or there's a spell shield option on the later level. So you can just get a bit more evasion away from that Kael'thas damage, and if you take the Punching Arrow, you can just get a lot more life steal when you've been chased down and dealt a lot of damage by those Hunter Killers.
Yeah, and right now we have Gamers2 with their next pick. You know, at this point, we've been talking about potential Bailey Assassins, but the one hero that we have still seen not really a whole lot today, especially in combo, is a Tyrande.
Yeah.
And Tyrande, yes, is a bit on the weaker side when it comes to hit points, but it would be 1.5 heal for the team. They have solid moves there. They can put some pressure on the two tanks with the Hunter's Mark, and they have that Muradin and Tyrande set up in the early game. We haven't seen her today yet, though. The teams seem to go away a bit from the sniper squad.
It's very true. That's just like you said, Gamers2, the sniper squad could be very useful for them, but they've not really gone for it. And they already have quite a bit of damage. Throwing down that little extra bit of damage in the form of Tyrande could be nice. And they're already against two warriors. That Starfall could really help them control an area with that large slow it gives.
Especially if you have the Starfall together with the Phoenix. It's a bit of a gamble, though, that you have to decide, okay, do I really want to go for this?
Are they going to stay here long enough?
First of all, that, and then also the Tyrande is just another hero that is a bit more on the squishy side. And if you're going up against such a strong front line, as we are seeing now on the side of their opponent, you need something to really help out with their sustain. And they decide to use, therefore, an Arthur's, which I really like here in this case. Didn't really see this one coming, but if you think about his sustainability and then also the damage that he can put on the board, he's very nice, and he also just slows down Onslaught and can lead or can just like follow up on a stun with a Howling Blast here. So an Arthur's as the second tank. We're seeing a bit more of double tanks or like even triple melees these days again.
Yeah, we're seeing double tanks, and in some cases we're seeing I'm going to reference America here.
Don't do it.
Very few warriors.
Reference the Koreans. We're not going to talk about those things that never happened. The Koreans.
The Koreans do run triple tanks.
Triple tank and running one of those sniper squads. So MVP Black was playing that against Virtus Pro on the first map, and that was extremely strong. And right now Europe is leaning more towards a double tank again, which was the case already before a little bit, but this is really picking up.
Indeed, it definitely is a meta, complete meta difference, because like you said, they're so different. There's the fact that Korea uses triple tank, and the fact they prefer some abilities. For example, the Shadow Assault from the Zeratul, the Sanctification coming in from the Tyrael, all super solid abilities, but all ones that we don't really see that often in the EU. And I, for one, have been a huge, I don't know what the term is, a huge enthusiast for Sanctification for the longest time, and I've been waiting for it to be picked up in EU, but right now, EU continues to make me sad and then make me shout with happiness when a judgment lands and gets a kill.
Well, the Judgment, I personally like one of the favorite games that I had in the last few days were when we saw Tyrael, Abathur, Illidan with Judgment Hunt.
Yes.
That was
one of my favorite comps.
So sorry for that poor Zagara. It was a game that Rocket played against Bob, and that poor Zagara in the back line. They had also a false start with the composition. So it was not only the Judgment first, then the stun, Abathur on top of that, but then bam, Hinterland Blast, and Zagara was just standing there, getting pummeled into the ground, was just like, what the hell? And didn't survive for like an entire, like 0.5 seconds, something like that. It was insane.
It's like being hit by 5 trucks in very quick succession. You're awake enough to notice, due to the fact it takes a little while to pass out, but you're still getting hit by 5 trucks.
So the compositions changes and the meta changes are definitely pretty interesting that we're seeing these days, and there have been some pretty cool combos around that the teams have been experimenting with. Of course, this is one of the big qualifiers that we have right now. But the game is coming up now. We've already talked a bit about the draft, so let's see who can take game number 1 in the best of 3 series here, the final one of the day here on Sky Temple. And starting off to the left side of the map, we have in this case now a Nuburak played by Devis for alternate Fancy, Blumby on Johanna, Krolu and Rhaegar in this game, Crosby on his Jaina, and Darkmog to give a bit more range damage to the team is using his Vala. To the right side of the map it is Gamers2, Nika on Zagara, Bacek on Kel'Thas, Shihu on Arthas, Leo from Poland on Uther, and Juve on Murden.
Having a look at some of the talents as we spawn, Vala and the Nuburak and the Arthas all waiting for the talents. The Nuburak finally picking up the Regen Master. Vala waiting, she is one of the people who can get some good options here. Juve jumping out before the slowing totem does hit, because Rhaegar did take the Colossal Totem at level 1.
Yeah, Colossal Totem already could mean again that we are going to see in level 13 Feral Lunge taken on level 16. Just the additional Earthgrasp Totem. That was exactly the build that was used in the last game on Rhaegar. Interesting idea to note is, in case that you didn't tune in at the beginning of today's broadcast, that we had exactly this game between the two teams on the same map already once today. And that was still in the best of 1 setup. Back then, Gamers2 dominated the early game, but then lost a very crucial fight in the late game and therefore also lost the game. So in this case now they want revenge here on Sky Temple, and we are going to find out together if they get it.
Indeed, and Vala finally selecting a talent is going for the composite arrows here. So right now, showing that she's either going into a multi-shot build or is going into that hybrid all the damage build. Nuburak getting dropped low, able to get out, same with Blundy. Neither of them having too much trouble, just getting a bit of harassment.
The cool thing, of course, about Johanna is that with Knight Takes Pawn, you can really start to push in a few of those waves. So Johanna, not the best hero to go up against Zagara, but then again, who is? She's not too bad here. With Knight Takes Pawn, you can move in, you can try to move out with a shield. As long as you don't lose the wall and you hold the line, you're golden.
Vala with a nice vault there to make it so she wasn't the one engaged on. Unfortunately, she did just sacrifice Jada to the side of Gamers2 there.
I always feel this, and I feel so sorry for this hero. You know, you're on the lane, and there's like, you're minding your own business, nothing really happens, and suddenly there comes a dwarf that jumps, there is somebody else charging you out of a bush, and everybody just barrels down on you, and you just get beaten up within seconds. You can't do anything against it.
Yeah, the gank squad is absolutely terrifying. Vala does get stunned up by Muradin. Muradin has no further engaged in that and has to back up after taking a couple auto attacks.
So at the bot lane we still have like 2 heroes here. If you run the Zagara, you don't want to abandon the bot lane, because you know that no matter who is there, you will be able to just push them back.
That's a big XP lead.
Yeah, that's a very solid XP lead. They got a lot of experience there. Oh, another stun against Vala, but in this case she's not gonna get too much trouble here. Once again the multi-shot build, by the way, but Arthur's taken down. So again a snipe, and that brings them closer in experience, especially as now the lane is starting to push in and they get the lane experience.
Yeah, and they have now hit level 5, so they are in fact even on those levels. However, we already spoke about it, we do see Gamers2 a little bit ahead, but on their Fancy actually doing pretty well, seeing as Nika was out of this lane for just a little bit and missed a tiny bit of XP.
Yeah, Nika nearly with the first kill on tower number 1, so that would be important. Experience is still tickling in for both of the teams, and they're on even level again. Arcane Intellect on Jaina to make sure that he's not going to run out of mana anytime soon.
Yeah, Nika doesn't get pulled in by the Condemned, but the minion wave gets dropped very low. Crosby and Darkmog going to be able to take down this Bruiser camp. Doubt they will cap it yet, though, due to the fact that they need it for later. Doing a Gamers2 here.
Yeah, pulling a Gamers2, you know what the fun thing would be if suddenly just like one of the heroes walks over, claims it, and it's like...
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to happen. We see...
Whoa!
Yeah, Johanna gets taken down by the massive gank here. But it used to be a thing where teams would all the time raid each other's bruiser camps as much as possible. But nowadays, teams are just taking it and leaving it, just asking for this.
Yeah, AD would probably use his Abathur to just like tunnel in. Like he plays a very aggressive Abathur style the last few days.
He wants it, and he's just waiting for the temple to start spawning.
Dark tease. Look at that.
Issue is, he wasn't in lane for a while. Doesn't miss any XP because the minion wave had to spawn. That's what he was waiting for. Even though, waiting for this in the top lane is going to pop out here and try and go onto Valor. Valor with the Volt, but the Pierce from the Muradin does land the stun, and they take her down. And that's a Gathering Power stack for Bashek.
Yeah, one Gathering Power stack for him, and also level 8 versus level 7. At the bot lane, on the other hand, we have immediately another kill against Jaina, and once the Blizzard goes down, there's just so much damage, but it's not enough to drop Gamers2. Krolu!
Holy Radiance?
Wow.
No, last second heal. Holy Radiance was not up. And also, clutch heal from Leo from Korea, keeping Nika from dying there. He was dropped really low.
Yeah, especially, of course, that Blizzard, the second wave that came in, that did so much damage already. But now we have a Siege Giant camp pushing in, the Temple taken. That is so much damage against the bot lane here. And you can already tell that with the level 9 that we are seeing for Gamers2 and that leading experience, that we're not even seeing Alternate Fancy trying to contest this. They're just giving up on the bot lane. They're saying like, yeah, it's not going to happen, so why would we bother? Let's go on to the mid and the top and try to soak experience and close that gap again.
Yeah, Bundy coming in just for that Night Take spawn on those mercenaries, slow them down a bit. And like you said, giving his team time to push that top lane and give Anubarak time to just chill in the mid lane for the XP. However, the roaming squad heading up to that top lane again. There's two very squishy, delicious targets for them. There's the jump. Crosby dodges stun number 1. Does not dodge stun number 2. That's a lot of damage, and down he goes.
Very well played. 6 kill against 1. Gamers2, I mean, they are angry. They are mad. You can really tell. After the first game that they lost today on this map, they're just basically saying, yeah, we are better than you guys, and we already showed it the last time, but you got lucky in the end game. They are not believing that they really lost the game. They say, okay, we kind of threw that in. This is not going to happen this time. And with all that rage here on the side of Gamers2, they even go for a boss, and why not? They're level 11 versus level 9.
Yeah, they can see that Valor and Johanna are both in the top lane. They're not coming down anytime soon, and that's easily enough time for them to do this. And Nubrak throwing out his Impale there, but he's so far away. There's no one even close who can contest this. Chickle just going to tank that stun there, just to make sure he's in the circle when that boss is ready.
Boss taken. Stun against Zvala, but Kel'Thas was still in cooldown on his Flame Strike. Didn't deliver this time. Here come the level 10s now for both of the teams. We have also the Phoenix still ready. Strafe being used. Phoenix is there more as well, though. And they're just disengaging, at least for now.
Yeah, and Jaina could have maybe got Bashek into a position where they might have been able to pick him off, but didn't control her Water Elemental. So the Water Elemental didn't actually chase Kael'thas there and just sort of stood there after the first couple auto attacks.
Yeah, the boss is now at the bot lane and is being defended against by 3 heroes that burst him down really quickly. The mid lane, on the other hand, that's the opportunity that the opponent, the Gamers2, was just waiting for. They move in, take down the gate, go for the tower here. A bit more experience for them. But it's still level 11, nearly level 12 versus level 10 now. Top lane, they can soak even more since there's a wave pushing in right now against Gamers2. So far, the Polish team is ahead. They're trying to wrap around here at the bottom. They want to go for it. Davis, he's moving into the way. The wrong spot gets locked down. Oh, that heal.
We're now going to see Rhaegar taking a lot of damage, but the knockups from Anubarak get everyone out. And why is it always the Anubaraks who are always getting either caught or getting all the kills?
Yeah, they go straight in again with a lockdown against Vala. And Rhaegar, actually. Goodbye. There comes Vala this time in the back with another strafe, more disengaging than anything else. Level 12.5 versus level 11, and the temple's up again. One on the bot lane, the other one up at the top. But the mid lane, this is where the fighting is still continuing. A 5 versus 4 situation with Davis and Bloomby trying to zone for Crosby and Darkmog.
Yep, and now we're going to be seeing Gamers2 head their way down to this bottom temple, and that's instantly spotted by Alternate, who are getting ready to take that top temple. So just a trade for a trade right now. But Gamers2, there's more mercenaries in the bot lane, so they're just going to steal all of those, and it would be far too risky for Alternate to respond in kind with both of those bruises.
They are already doing exactly that, taking the mercenary characters down here at the bot lane. The first one taken, the temple of course claimed too, dropping already the fort in the mid lane. It's a fort for fort with the Crosby and Darkmog taking down the top lane, but we still have another siege giant camp about to be taken by Gamers2 as Bashek together with Leo from Korea are moving straight to the right.
Yeah, they're going to be able to take that down pretty easily. Nico and Shekel have been in this mid lane, just pushing it, getting the XP from it. Nothing too big, but it's just extending their lead a little bit.
For now, it's all about soaking. Level 13 is what you need, and 13 is of course already on the board for Gamers2. They're running this, in this case, with a flamethrower. Again, we have Relentless. There's also a Spell Shield, and Muradin even deciding that he wants more damage with a quick Burning Rage. I'm liking it. Bot lane still being pushed. Everybody's moving in here. They have two siege giant camps. They're saying we can siege you 6 days to Sunday here. Let's go and take at least the wall.
Yeah, both teams looking for some kind of engagement. Level 13 is now available for Alternate if they want to engage. That's the time. There's the Water Elemental from above by Crosby. They're going on to Shekel here. He's taking a lot of damage thanks to that Army of the Dead. And the Divine Shield on him heals him back up. More goes down. A lot of people. Web Blast used in the back, but they immediately get Nicker out of that. The more that does, however, buy Alternate some time to get out of that more and retreat out of there. And this is a bad engagement here. This bridge is a bad angle for both teams. But those Flame Strikes doing so much damage. There's the engagement onto Yuva.
Yeah, once again we have at the front line Anubarak trying to go straight for it with another stun. Here comes the Condemn for Blumby. They're isolating Yuba. Muradin is all alone there and he is dead. They're trying to chase down the rest of the team now as well with all those chain heals that we're seeing from Kroll. The team is nearly up to full health once more. Shihu! Oh, they lock him down. Well done. Unhorse him here. And once again he's getting attacked.
The root!
Wow, the root together with Flame Strike and a Phoenix. That was actually like a pretty cool move here.
Yeah, great escape and some nice damage onto Crosby. That will force him to either back out or accept all of those heals and waste a lot of Rhaegar's mana.
And talking about mana, Rhaegar on level 13 did go for the Feral Lunge as expected. So we're going to see that Earthgrass Totem on level 16, giving up on the healing talents that you have on 16 and on 13. So he's not going to be able to heal out as much damage as he normally would be. And that is actually an interesting build against the Kelthas, who is expected to do a lot of area damage on the later levels. But for now, we still have a level lead for Gamers2, and they might be able to use that little stat advantage to get the temple, but they won't be able to get an additional talent before this one spawns.
Yeah, it looks like Alternate are going for the whole strategy of we don't need to heal because we want you to be dead before we need to. And that's their current strategy by the looks of it. It's kind of working. They were able to pick off a kill there on that nice bridge fight with the great and in fact they almost picked up another one with the nice totem coming down from Rhaegar.
Yeah, both teams angling now for a good position in the fight here. Shihu gets stunned once again. The Flame Strike not hitting anybody, but zoning them out at least a bit. Good lockdown against the Nubarak. They're not quite sure yet if they want to engage here. They are just trying to take down that Bruiser camp together with the Wave, and they're doing a very good job with the Muradin Thunderclap and the Flame Strike.
Yep, this is the only temple here. They're going on to Shehu again. He does root the Anubarak, but the Anubarak tanks through this. There's the strafe from the other side. Blumby is in there as well. Web Blast lands onto that Zagara, but Kael'thas is getting chased down. Both of them dodged the Flame Strike. That was sick. More only lands on Johanna. Divine Shield's down on Zagara, but she's in serious trouble.
She's in a lot of trouble. Dead, actually, in this case. Not trouble anymore. We have Blumby. Yeah, he was trying to move in again for another potential kill against Yuva, but the Dwarf jumps over the gate. And just like that, starting it off with a kill against Arthas, we're having once again Alternate Fancy on this map getting ahead once more. Wow.
I have deja vu. Gamers2.
Yeah,
please stop losing late game on this map. To be fair, in their last series, they actually did bring it back to win on this map. But Alternate Fancy playing really well now, able to start winning those team fights. And this is going to like really be putting Gamers2 in their own brains at the moment.
It was just really well done with isolating a hero thanks to the Web Blast, moving in, the Maw not really hitting the way that they intended to, and with the early kill against Arthas, it was a 5 versus 4 from the start, so there was not really a whole lot that they could do there. It was also great ancestral healing, keeping Vala alive, I think. Yeah, they steal at least that Siege Giant camp back, but still, it's 16 versus 16 now, at least in talents. And we have Executioner for Vala.
Yeah, very interesting here. It is a lot of damage, especially seeing as just how much CCs there is. Oh, there's the Web Blast. Who is that in there? Looks like Zagara. And that is a big problem for Gamers2. But here comes the entire team, and they are already immediate Divine Shield. Condemn captures Shihul, and we're seeing Ultimate try to retreat out of this. The Phoenix doing a lot of damage. Crosby gets Ancestral Healing straight in the background, just bursting everyone, but she gets stunned up.
Wow, the Ignite! Starkville just barely getting away. So does Crowley. Crosby is trying to just move back now to everybody disengaging. The potential stun maybe? No, it doesn't look like it. But they get the kill against Johanna in the back. I have to actually say that the Divine Shield against Zagara was a bit of a waste there. They thought, of course, that she would be targeted down. And I guess he was trying to really rush to her aid. The problem was really in this case that everybody had to disengage already since Kel'Thas was there, zoning them out with a Flame Strike. So in this case, the Divine Shield, a bit of a waste, but it didn't really matter for the fight here. And now they can take boss since they are in a 5 versus 4 situation. Yeah, and that was the one time, the one kind of situation you see where Web Blast really doesn't work in your favor. Because if they just you can't cancel it. Delay. You can't cancel it. If they had been able to... Like, it basically delayed the kill. If they'd been able to jump in and just get the kill on Zagara, then that would have been easy. Or if they'd been able to at least get the Anu back with the knockup. But because they used Web Blast, they had to wait. And that gave Gamers2 all time to just roam up and be ready for that fight. And like I said, the instant Divine Shield, if they had tried to focus down Zagara, would have got nothing. I'm loving this move, by the way. It's
so good. It's such a bait.
It's not a bait. They just want to wait for the temples. They knew exactly when the temples would spawn. And they wait for the temples, and they waited for, first of all, Uther to just heal up again. So with this, they have the temples at the perfect time. Look at that waste on the Water Elemental. Trying to use that disengage. The Water Elemental is going to be down before the fight actually starts.
Yeah, Water Elemental just going to be focusing on the boss here. Like you said, just not getting enough of it. And immediately, Gamers2 move on to the temples, and they're going to get quite a few buildings here. And this will bring them back onto even levels with Team Ultimate.
Perfect timing. Very ballsy to wait with the boss, but they simply said, okay, we're going to position ourselves around the pit, and then once they come in, we can start try and take this. So they have to ignore the boss to a certain extent if they want to catch a few of the temple shots. Bottom temple nearly taken, halfway at least. Up at the top, the rest of the team is there, and that was extremely smart and brings them ahead, but they haven't killed the bot.
Yep, mid shots are currently going onto a fountain, which will go down, and they're going to get the rest of those shots. In the meantime, Gamers2 are just doing what they need to. They've grabbed all of mid. They're just giving over the rest of the bot. They're not losing too much. And they're just taking mercenaries. They're taking control and doing everything they need to do in exchange for just a couple shots.
I'm not sure if they should have maybe fought for the bottom temple instead of the top temple. That would have dropped the keep for sure. As is, the keep is very low, but it's still alive. And that might become a problem in later stages.
It's true, but they can kind of do that at their leisure. They can roll in there and just whack it. Oh, alternate. There's the route onto the Anubrak. No cleanse used. They don't need to. They realize he was fine. There's the engagement onto Zagara. Divine Shield and the immediate Maw. Getting both warriors here. What is the follow-up? There's the Phoenix.
There he goes. And missing the Flame Strike, but it's the rest. We have the shield already used. Davis is moving in once again. A good Stormbolt here. Shiku is dropping his army of the dead.
Oh, that's nice. Where's the heal? Rhaegar heal. No, down he goes. And
the Hydra as well. The Hydra was still attacking him.
And Yuva getting the stun on to the Rhaegar there. Ancestral not enough to keep him alive. And Gamers2 getting two very nice kills here. Shihul going very aggressively here. He wants Darkbok, but Darkbok is far too far away here.
Yeah.
And there you go. They are able to escape.
Now they can take the keep. In a 5 versus 5 situation, going for it is definitely a gamble since you always end up fighting in this position over here on the bridge. But now they can move in. And there's 30 seconds. I don't really think that they can go for the core with this. Not against the Jaina. Or can they? They're trying. They're trying it.
They're trying. Kael'thas has 3 stacks. He is not max. Nice ice block to block out that flame strike here. They're going to try and end the game right here. There's the Phoenix. Nice condemn coming in here. And Darkbok getting dropped low. He goes down, and that might be enough. We're seeing Johanna in there trying to delay. Crosby is doing as much as he can, and Nubrak will be up soon. The core is doing a lot of damage. They are being dropped low. The core has just lost its shield. Crosby doing everything he can. They're killing this very slowly. Here comes the noob. CC time.
Look at you.
He misses everyone.
Where's that?
They're about to die.
2 down. Oh my god, Gamers2!
Mistakes were made! They're in full retreat! The Web Blast was used on Nika. He's just trying to do as much as he can. He's actually incubating here to do it. Jaina went down there. I'm not sure what killed her. I think it was just engaging onto the Kael'thas there. We're going to see Nika. No! Oh, no, down he goes. Down to a Locust.
That looked like they were able to get away, but now suddenly the entire team is down except for Leo, who of course came back.
Get a temple.
that gave them level 20. Like, that was...
that was so greedy.
That was so, greedy,
Leo
exactly.
needs to run. It's 2 versus 1, and they're going to fight him on the Temple of Leo. The shots, they're not going to call. They're still on keeps. Rhaegar going for that top temple, and they're going to be able to grab both. Uther, all he can do is go back and heal. Neither team is going to win in this situation because everyone's going to be up before the next fight.
Why not go for the keep and then the temples? Take the second keep. You could even take a second keep and then go to the temples.
That was very greedy. Valor hasn't even picked her level 20 yet. She's just leaving it. She is now alive, and they are clearing that bot lane as much as they can. There you go, finally taking Bolt off the Storm. And yeah, that was a really poor choice. And we were just watching them just like, splash on core, splash on core, dying,
at the beginning, I was like, they can't really win that, can they? And then they kill Vala, and I'm like, well, now they can.
They can win that.
Then no Johanna dies, and I'm like, they should be now. But then the core just does damage and damage.
They also never killed Jaina, who was just sitting there just like, pew.
Jaina was the one that dished out most of the damage in this situation. But well, this game is still Ethan's way.
We're still going.
What?
What? That's not fair. Hang on.
40 hit points.
That's not fair at all.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
The keep is trolling them now. The keep is trolling alternate
So
Fancy.
who's going to take the hit and dive that just to kill it? No one has a global, so they can't do anything to it. It has to be the dog. Has to be the dog. I think just the Nubarak. He like runs behind the minion wave, drops a beetle, and then dials out.
Oh god! So it's a keep for a keep right now, but the core is on 50% for alternate Fancy. But this game, like Gamers2, they wanted to make it like intense again.
Yes, they did. And Gamers2, they just seem to have no love on this map, going for an end and managing to throw again. It's not over yet, though. Yep. Like we said, there's a very hard push in the top lane, but Kael'thas is already here, clearing that up. He's lost all his stacks again, so he's going to have to wait to regain those. In the meantime, we are seeing Alternate taking the boss, and there's nothing Gamers2 can do about it. Actually, they pretty much finished everything. They are coming.
They are moving in. Muradin is already there.
Oh,
Muradin needs to
jump an avatar. Jump avatar. Oh, the flash shield and the web blast will delay. There's the Maw, but they have the boss. Maw is on 2 members here. In comes the Bolt to try and get it. Valor taking a lot of damage. Ancestral will keep her alive, though.
What a fight! The Divine Shield is already there. They're moving straight in against a Nubarak once again, but the entire alternate Fancy setup is just trying to move back here. Blumby could get stunned. No, he misses the Storm Bolt. No way!
Blumby, run! He's going to be able to get out of there. Flame Strike hits no one. And alternate Fancy still alive. The boss will push down mid.
Triple Temple.
Sorry, down bot lane.
Triple Temple is up.
They have to fight. They have to ignore the boss. They have to ignore the boss and fight for the temples.
But the boss is going to kill the keep, and the one in the middle doesn't have any hit points.
The temple will kill the keep. They're going to kill the boss. Looks like they're going to ignore the temple slightly. The temples are up in 1 second. They need to be so quick, because if all 3 of those temples go, then all the keeps are going to die and the core will die. They have to stop now. They have to go fight.
No way. It's over.
They have to fight. They have to split and fight.
It's over. I tell you. Look at this. Look at the core.
It's so quick.
Over.
The boss is on it as well.
There's
so much damage. They're fighting mid. Ufa is heading bot, but the top temple is uncontested. Yuva's heading up there. They've gained control of mid. Bot lane. Looks like they're winning that as well. It's GG.
Oh, Gamers2, you got to be kidding me.
How do you do that every time? Also, I'd like to point out, it was a Nubarak controlling the top temple, so once again, a Nubarak the difference between a win and a loss.
What a massive throw by Gamers2.
Why Gamers2? Why?
They don't want to win.
No, they don't.
Why do you hate winning?
Oh. They were like, cologne sounds terrible. I only use aftershave.
I can't believe this happened.
They
had the game. It's like they haven't won it yet, but like they killed the keep at the bot lane, which was important. Then 2 temples were up. They had 2 heroes down. They could have moved into the mid lane, take the second keep, move back, and that would also have been greedy. Yeah. But then they go for the core instead of just moving back, taking 2 temples, dropping even more structures, and playing it from there with a level 20 advantage. Unbelievable.
Gamers2, please.
Gamers throw.
Nope.
I can't believe that just happened. That makes me so sad for these guys.
Okay, so odds on Gamers2 ever picking Sky Temple again? I'd say pretty low.
Fancy. This is not going to happen again.
Well, to be fair, they had a fairly similar match in their other lower bracket game against Imaginary Gaming, Evil Murkies, where they also had a situation where they nearly lost in the late game. They were able to bring it back that time.
Unbelievable. Guys, This is going to be, well, this was the first map. We have potentially 2 more maps coming up. Of course, we're going to head into a quick break to give the players time to get ready for game number 2. And, well, actually, in the case of the Polish team, I think they are going to need a minute because, let's be honest, that was... that was like the second time that they just threw the game on Sky Temple against the same team.
Well, apparently they don't need a break in the slightest.
Wow, they are mad.
Yeah. Alternate Fancy, though, we're going to give them a quick chance at a break. So we're going to head to a quick break. And when we come back, it'll be game number 2 between Alternate Fancy and Gamers2.